MVP Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns are on their way to a date with destiny as they now find themselves in the conference finals, poised to take the next step to the finals. But although Barkley and company would win Game 1 in Phoenix, Game 2 knocked them off their championship course as the very talented and deep Seattle Supersonics have some lofty goals of their own. In Game 3, they look for more heroics as they prepare to defend their home court against the Suns and take advantage of their split in Phoenix. From the Seattle Coliseum, it's the Phoenix Suns versus the Seattle Supersonics in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Starting for the Suns in the front court are Sir Charles Barkley and Richard Dumas. Mark West patrols the middle, while KJ, Kevin Johnson, and Dan Marley are the backcourt. For the Sonics, Sean Kemp and Derek McKee are the forwards. Game 2 hero Sam Perkins starts at center, and the guards are Gary Payton and Ricky Pierce. The head coach for the Suns is Paul Westphal, while George Karl pilots the Sonics. In first quarter action, Mark West has his shot blocked, and Sam Perkins throws the perfect outlet to Gary Payton, who slams it home. KJ comes right back and motors in for the driving layup. Derek McKee is blocked by West off the break. And Sean Kemp has a tough time getting the ball in. But McKee's there for the tip-in. Here's a nice give and go off the break from Pierce to Payton. Leads to the easy layup. And in the middle of the first, it's a 17-16 Phoenix lead. Richard Dumas comes up with a steal. And KJ gets it ahead to him, where he scores off the mighty righty crank. Nate McMillan puts it on the floor and finds Michael Cage in the paint for the easy layup. Marley dishes off to KJ up top. And he fires to Sabalas down low, who scores on the layup. McMillan has his pass picked off by Sabalas. And he outruns the Sonics for the two-handed slam. And at the end of the first, it's 32-25, the Phoenix Suns. In the second, Sabalas misses on the dunk. And Cage gets it out to McMillan, who leads the break and goes in strong himself with a finger roll over Marley. McKee off the inbounds. Finds Kemp, and Sean throws down the alley-oop slam, and the foul. McMillan dishes to Perkins on the right block. He spins and scores on the fadeaway J. Perkins loses the handle on the ball, but tips it back to Payton. And he sees Pierce, who winds up and fires on the three and hits as the Sonics trail 44-43. Ainge dishes to Barkley, who goes baseline and misses on the layup, but gets it in off the rebound. KJ up high, finds Charles on the blocks, and this time he muscles it in for the slam and draws the foul. Sean Kemp gets tied up on the baseline and dishes out to McMillan, who drives the lane and beats the shot clock with a short J. And going into the locker room at halftime, it's the Suns holding a tight 57-56 margin over the Seattle Supersonics. The Suns shot well in the first, but poorly in the second, while the Sonics did the exact opposite. Seattle also controlled the boards in the first half and was especially effective on the offensive glass. Now let's join Gary Bender and Doug Collins with just under 9 minutes left in the third, and the Suns holding onto a slim 65-63 lead.
McKee from outside, and now Derek McKee has started to come alive after going 1 for 7 in the first half. pressure. Kevin Johnson's got to be careful as McKee jumps in front of him. Batted away. It's going to be the Seattle Supersonics ball, and Kevin Johnson slow getting up. He's hurt.
He got kicked in the thigh, I think. They're going to have to take a foul. It's 4-on-5 right now.
Kemp at the other end, and there is a foul. Oliver Miller has been called for the foul.
Well, all the Phoenix Suns back home watching are holding their breath right now that Kevin Johnson has always had leg problems in the playoffs. See if he gets kicked in the left thigh. Let's watch this. I think right in that area he got kicked. Right there as he starts to go down, and he's limping off the court right now. I don't know if it's the knee that he injured and had problems with in the playoffs, but right now Kevin Johnson is hurting. See, KJ thought he was fouled right here, that he was bumped as he started to turn the corner. Then McKee comes in from behind and slaps it loose. Right there, KJ goes down, and we'll have to wait to see whether it's a knee or a thigh or exactly what the injury is.
Joe Prosky, the trainer, is over there. It looked like that ball was actually tipped by the Sonics over in that far side, and it would have been the Suns' ball, but instead they came down, committed the foul, and Kevin Johnson leaves now with 18 points, 9 assists, and of course the question is, will he be able to return?
That's how playoff series change. An injury like that changes the whole looks of the playoffs, and in many instances championships are won and lost with an injury to a key player.
Well, he's been hurt each year in the playoffs. He had been hurt at the end of the regular season, started the playoffs out of Game 1, and then played with a 12-ounce brace, which he discarded in Game 3 against San Antonio.
This is where the veteran play of Frankie Johnson is going to have to come into play. He's going to have to settle his team down.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson inside. He's hammered. Hits on the floor hard, and the foul will go on the Sonics. It'll be Derek McKee committing the foul. It's his third.
That's the second team foul.
We know Frankie Johnson is fearless. He's not going to back off the pressure. Steps in and drives to the basket. There's the foul. Looks like Sean Kemp got the block cleanly.
So Johnson now instead of Kevin Johnson. And Frank missing that free throw. He was a 78% free throw shooter in the regular season. And you can see KJ's in real pain. Frank gets the second half of it. Sonics by 1.
Trying to go to McKee against Dumas, feeling like he's got the hot hand at this point in time.
Miller jumping out, respecting Sam Perkins' range. Pierce almost lost that off his foot. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Rebound. It's going to be off of Dumas.
I think they feel like they can host McKee against Dumas. In that set, they were trying to get to him. Dumas did a pretty good job of fronting and circling him. See if they try to go back to McKee.
McKee's hit these 2 shots now in the third quarter. Barkley on Sean Kemp with a ball fake. Perkins, you see Miller respecting that, runs out on him, and Perkins takes it inside.
He ran at him, but he ran at the wrong hand. Perkins is a lefty. When he ran at him, he allowed him to take the ball past him with his left hand.
Good point. 69-66, big lead for Seattle. In baseline to Dumas. Miller kicks it out. Suns right now a little bit out of sync. Here is Dumas trying to take it in. Tough shot. Miller tries to follow. Perkins comes up with it. And a foul by Frank Johnson. And this game right now, very critical for the Phoenix Suns at this juncture.
I think Seattle feels things swinging their way. Kevin Johnson sitting down with an injury, and the crowd is excited, and the Sonics are once again playing very well.
And Frank Johnson just committed his 4th foul.
Seattle has taken a 3-point lead, and we're going to show you the respect that Phoenix has for Sam Perkins' 3-point shooting. We're going to stop it right here. Here's Sam Perkins, a 3-point shooter. He's a left-hander, so you must go at his left hand. Oliver Miller going to take it right to the basket with his left hand and the score. So you must attack the guy's strong hand and make him go to his weakness.
Well, the big story is Kevin Johnson is back. He is back into the lineup. Now, he went out and it was tied 65 all, and the Suns desperately hoping that he can continue to negotiate out on the feet as Payton left him easily there and got away from it.
Kevin Johnson ran into his own man. Charles Barkley got in his way. You go underneath the screen on Payton. When he did, he ran right into Barkley.
Kevin is obviously limping as he was dribbling the ball. 71-66 Seattle. Or they double him, don't they? Barkley splits it well, though, and Miller then is fouled. Good job by Barkley splitting that double team.
And Seattle is swarming. You just feel their intensity starting to rise as they've taken a 5-point lead.
Fourth foul on Derek McKee.
Stepping through the double team, Barkley finds the open man, Miller, and he sees 3 white jerseys. No easy baskets in this game. Now, Oliver Miller has not shot free throws well. In the playoffs, he's at about 50-something percent, 53%. So every free throw becomes critical in a game like this, especially when you're on the road and there's not going to be any layups.
Well, the Suns, if they had hit their free throws Wednesday night, would not find themselves in such dire circumstances at 1-1.
Oliver Miller has not been a factor yet in this game. He got quick foul trouble. He had to sit down for a long stretch of time. And in that first period, he only played 6 minutes, had 2 points and 1 rebound.
I tell you, Payton's going to test Kevin Johnson right away. He did on that last time down the floor, and he got away from him quickly there. Perkins outside. Barkley tries to follow inside. Kemp, and he may have overpassed the ball there.
He did. That was being too unselfish. You got to shoot that ball. But again, Gary, every time down the floor, Seattle's getting multiple shot opportunities. Phoenix is not rebounding. Paul Westphal might have to think about going with West and Miller on the floor at the same time with Barkley.
Barkley sees the double team and gets it to Sabonis very well.
He might have to counter with a big lineup, Gary. I saw him do that in Chicago early in the season. Move Barkley over to the small forward, go with West and Miller.
They got it too deep to Perkins. You can't stop him when you get it that low.
And then again, he let him spin back to that left hand. What happens is you start blocking a lot of shots and you say, you know what, I'm just going to lay behind the guy, let him catch it. I'm going to block everything. You're not going to do that in this league. Guys are going to adjust.
And especially a veteran like Sam Perkins. And now Dick Pavetta has stopped everything. Illegal defense against Seattle. That's the first time they're warning Mark West coming in. Now maybe they'll go to this big lineup you're talking about.
I think he's going to come in for Oliver Miller at this point in time.
Yep, that's who it's going to be.
Miller allowing Sam Perkins again the low post position. I'm sure Paul Westphal is going to talk to him about it, but Phoenix might have to go to that big lineup, and it'll also free up maybe some three-point shooting and some offensive rebounding. Phoenix has not been able to get any three-point shots tonight.
Well, they're not getting the offensive rebounds. You know, Barkley didn't have any offensive rebounds in game 2. 0. Here is Marley horsing it up. No whistle. The basket counts. Dan Marley, who did not score in that first half, he's 1 of 5 from the field in this ball game. Payton still testing Kevin Johnson to see how bad that leg is.
KJ looks like he's moving better now. They're going to run him through a lot of screens, though.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Kept baseline. Ball deflected. Marley comes up with it. You can see why Marley was on the second team NBA All-Defensive Club.
Shawn Kemp's trying to do too much with his passing, getting himself in trouble.
Suns have settled in a little bit now after the scare with Kevin Johnson going down.
Suns are losing their spacing on the floor right now. They need to
4
space
seconds.
the floor.
3 seconds. Marley with 2. Tough shot. Rebound by Perkins. I don't think West was aware of the shot clock there. Took a lot of time kicking that ball out. Inside 4 minutes to go in the third. 2-point lead by Seattle. Pierce driving, and Ed T. Rush calls a blocking foul. McMillan and Cage and Eddie Johnson will come in, and that will be a foul of number 4 against Dan Marley.
See, this really hurts because Danny Ainge really struggles against Ricky Pierce. Marley sits down, so if Ainge plays Pierce, they're going to go to Ricky Pierce. They're going to run him off a lot of curls on the baseline. They'll try to run a lot of screens. So watch that matchup. Now we have 3:47. Look to see if Ricky Pierce tries to take over the last part of this third quarter.
Kemp sits down. Payton sits down. 3 changes for Seattle, and as mentioned, Ainge coming in for Marley. So McKee and Marley each have 4 fouls.
See, I think that's a real good substitution for Sean Kemp right now. He plays with such energy and such excitement. Sometimes I think he gets caught up in his own skill. And he got himself in trouble with a couple passes. You can never fault his effort, but you calm him down a little bit and bring him back into the game. I think that was a very good substitution by George Karl.
Ricky Pierce, so deadly at the free throw line. He has 20 points in the game. 4-point lead now for Seattle.
This is not a good shooting team for Phoenix on the floor right now. Sabalas instead of Dumas. He'll try to drive everything, which he does.
Boy, he does that well. He just snakes his way inside. Didn't look like he had any room on the baseline. Sabalas now with 12 points in the game. He's been in double figures all 3 games against Seattle. Pierce open outside. Cage, who does so well inside in the paint with a rebound.
See, without Marley, they're going to go to Ricky Pierce. I'm telling you, Coach, mark it down.
Yep. Why not?
They have no one else that can guard him on this team. Sabalas can't play him. Neither can Danny Ainge, nor can Dumas. So with Marley having 4 fouls, that is critical.
Baseline, Kevin Johnson is fouled. That's the reason that Paul Westphal said so many times, I can't afford to take Marley out of the lineup. In 40 games, he played 45 minutes this year in the regular season. We mentioned he's missed only 3 minutes in the first 2 games. That foul was on Perkins, his 4th, so they have 2 men with 4 now, McKee and Perkins.
Kevin Johnson's got his stroke a little bit now at the free throw line. He's now 9 for 11 in this ball game from the line.
His leg's still obviously bothering him. You wonder if it'll tighten up.
I think he got kicked in the thigh. Normally what happens, if you can keep yourself loose, you'll be able to get through tonight. When you'll feel it is tomorrow.
And of course, game 4, which comes up Sunday. Now he retreated back. He was carrying that leg, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's not his normal self right now. That's for sure.
Now Nate McMillan will test him with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Eddie Johnson, who was 0 for 2 in the first half. Sabalas with a steal. Cedric comes up with it to Danny Ainge.
Boy, Eddie Johnson's really struggling right now. Cannot get his shot to go. Had a couple turnovers.
Kevin Johnson ducks in, pass to West. West couldn't retrieve in time to get it out. Blocked inside. He surprised Mark with that one.
Oh, what a great job by Barkley.
Tremendous charge. There's no whistle. He's down again. Barkley with the block. At the other end, Sabalas misses the easy one. And we go the other way, and Sabalas is
I think he just hurt his foot. This is wild. This is wild.
West with the rebound. And Kevin Johnson is like a punch-struck fighter right now. Look at him. He took a real shot on the last trip. Look at this.
KJ steps in to take the foul, does not get it, and a great block shot by Barkley.
Sean Kemp, who has played full tilt. 20 offensive rebounds by the Sonics. Now, they averaged 16 in the playoffs. They had 17 on Wednesday night, and one of the reasons is this guy is relentless.
Yes, he is. He's got such energy and, strength around that basket. I don't even think he knows what he himself is going to do when he gets in the air sometimes.
Nate McMillan hits a free throw. That foul when we took the break was on Kevin Johnson, his 3rd. Kevin Johnson just got beat up all over the place. That ends up with a foul and in the crowd.
That's normally what happens. You get back on your heels and it seems like you're taking all the blows. And again, I think a lot of it's because KJ is having a difficult time moving.
McMillan gets 1 of 2. Barkley with the rebound.
But you know what? There's no sympathy on Seattle. They're going to keep going right at him. This is the playoff.
They'll go to the juggler, right? Here is West inside, and he moves inside. He's fouled. So Cage commits a foul. Perkins with 4, trying to lay off a little bit as he ducked inside. So Cage with 2. Now West, who shot better in the playoffs than he did in the regular season at the free throw line, shooting 63% as opposed to his regular season of 52.
You can see Seattle's not going to give you any easy scores, so now you're going to have to make your free throws. This is going to be really critical for the Suns, and will they start thinking about the 15 that they missed in game 2 when they got to the line 41 times and only converted on 26 of them.
So West on the scoreboard after going scoreless in game 2. 1-2, and it's a 78-75 lead as we have 2 minutes left here in the third.
So they're going to go to Ricky Pierce again, screen roll. He's going to be the guy to look to make something happen in this half-court set.
Eddie Johnson still looking for his shot. It's not there. Tries to follow. Good effort by Eddie as McMillan has a strip by Danny Ainge. You know, Barkley is scoreless this quarter. It's amazing the Suns have stayed as close as they have without this guy scoring.
He hasn't taken many shots, and everything has been on the perimeter, so they've done a good job. But again, the guy around the basket, Mr. Opportunity, Sabalos, snaking along that baseline with a reverse layup. Back to a one-point game.
Sabalos and Dumas playing a small forward by committee and doing it very well. Here's Cage coming up with a rebound to Price, 24 seconds. Pierce, 3 men on him. Rebound Barkley. Out it comes to Sabalos. Almost didn't see it. To West. And West is fouled. Now Mark West keeps taking it to the hole, and he's going to go to the line again.
I think they're surprising him. They normally don't throw Mark West the ball. He's gotten it about 3 times the last 4 possessions.
That's the 5th foul on Perkins, and he'll have to sit down.
Into the game for Phoenix is number 24.
So West will be there again at the line. I think what's happened is the Suns now realizing that they are a little beaten up, are going any way they can right now, and West is part of that break down the floor.
What they have to do right now is start resting some guys. KJ is going to sit down. Marley's got some nice rest because he has 4 fouls. And they're going to have to position themselves to be in the game at the 6-7 minute mark so that they can finish this game strong. We know Seattle's going to continue to come at you, and you must be aggressive, Gary. You cannot back off and start shooting outside jumpers. You've got to keep taking it to the hole.
I think Kevin's having some problem with his eye now. It's like he's been hit in every part of his body, I think. Mark West, 1 of 2 again. John Kemp back in the lineup now. Kemp, Cage, McMillan, Payton, and Eddie Johnson for George Karl. 48 seconds left in the quarter. McMillan baseline to Cage, who slices in. Eddie Johnson, boy, it's just not there for Eddie.
Boy, Eddie pulled a screenshot and air ball on that one. I've never
And the shot clock expired, and Eddie Johnson's 0 for